Hey everybody, this is Cinco. Per request, I am doing the quick little build videos to show the change out of the fans. This short little video will be me doing the Dark Horse that you get through Solo Satoshi. So I am taking a Solo Satoshi Gamma that I have, and I'll be switching out for the Dark Horse. Okay. Now a couple things that you can see here. This is going to be going on Parasite Pool, so I just added a little glow in the dark green, neon green biohazard symbol to it, just because I like to do stuff like that, and I'm a dork. Also, something to notice is this has a 3-pin, whereas the original has a 4-pin. So the nice thing about that is you can put this in the 3-pin and run it, and you have the opening for the 4-pin if you want to add a fan to the back, and you don't have to use the Y cable, the fork cable, off of one, so you can run 2 if you wanted. You could do it either way, but just kind of saves you a little bit of cable management there if you want to keep the cables a little bit shorter. But anyway, so this is actually pretty simple to do. I've already loosened my the little pop things here, the little pop holders down. Okay, I just pinch them with a pair of needle nose pliers and then push on them. And so then all I have to do is give them a little bit of a little push, and this comes off, and then gently loosen. Sorry, I'm trying to do this looking at the camera and still doing this right. So just gently loosen that. So next, what you'll need is, I use alcohol prep pads. Okay, so I'm gonna get an alcohol prep pad, and you're just going to clean the chip off. Okay, so I'm going to try to get as much of this old thermal paste off as you can. So there's a little bit left in the crevices. It's not that big of a deal, but you know, if you can get it all, that's good. Get as much as you can on there. You know, you don't put a lot of pressure on this board. They're delicate creatures. And then while I'm here, I might as well go ahead and clean this dust off as well. So just get that going, and just kind of give it a little more in there. Don't touch the chip with your finger. You don't want to get your oil on there, your finger oil, okay, your skin oil. So go ahead, and I'll just kind of clean this up a little bit. So that's that. It's pretty clean. And then it's an alcohol prep pad, so that'll dry by itself here in a second. The next step is prepping your Dark Horse. Okay, so this is super simple, guys. So again, you just saw me touch that with my finger, but that's because I am going to be using the alcohol pad on it. So that's not that big of a deal. So before I do that, I'm skipping a step here. Before I do that, I've got my my Thermal Grizzly. I use the Cryonaut Extreme is what I use. And one of these tubes lasts me like, I don't know, 15 gammas. So, I mean, it's worth the money. It's worth the 20 some bucks you spend on it. So I just put that little spout on the end of it there, and I'm going to squeeze out just a tiny bit here. I'm being very gentle, like that much, okay? And then I'm simply going to put it here and just smear it on. And that's really it. That's all I need to do with that, okay? That's really all I need to do with that. Now that that's been done, fresh on a clean, fresh thermal paste on the cleaned chip, I'm going to take my other fresh alcohol prep pad. I'm going to clean the whole base of this nice and clean. Okay, that's that. Just give this a second to dry. Want to make sure it's nice and dry before you put it on, which again, it dries super quick. Just want to make sure it's good. Now the next step, make sure it's dry there. And you could also use like a dry felt cloth if you want afterwards to just make sure it's dry if you want to. Just don't touch it with your fingers, okay? That's the big thing there. Don't touch it with your fingers. You do not want your finger oils on there. That's like anyone who's ever changed their headlights, you know, never to touch the bulbs for a car, for your headlight, because the oils will make the bulb burn out faster. Same thing, you just don't want your oil on that adhesion area, the contact area, okay? So what we're gonna do is, I'm not gonna connect this first because there's plenty of room to do the fan connection afterwards. I'm going to very delicately and as as accurately as possible because you don't want to smear around on the chip, okay? You don't want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and line these up. And once they're lined up, I'm just going to put a little pressure on the back, and then I can start pinching these through. And I'm left-handed, so I'm doing this right-handed, so it makes it a little more difficult. Sorry, I know this is a horrible angle. That's it. I'm putting hardly any pressure on this because I do not want to smash the ASIC. There. And there. The pressure I'm putting is on the pin, not on the ASIC. Okay, my hand here is just to hold this in place. So that's that. That's on there now. Okay, so that's good to go. And now I'm just going to insert the 3-pinner here. Is it a 3-pinner? I guess it's just a tiny 4-pinner. It is. It's just a tiny one. So I'll go ahead. I'll put that in there. And that's that. The only other thing I would do to this is I'm probably going to go ahead and install some heat sinks on it, some little adhesive heat sinks. I got to dig them out. I got them in my workbench here somewhere, but I'll put those on it. But guys, that's how simple it is to change that out. Okay, so it's remove the old, clean off the old thermal paste, add new thermal paste. Make sure your contact surfaces are nice and clean and free of any type of finger oils. Reconnect the new heat sink with the fan. And, you know, as our English friends say, Bob's your uncle. That's it. It's all done. Fan's connected. This little boy's ready to go. So I'll go ahead and start getting that ready for that. So the only other things, like I said, put those heat sinks on there. I also have made some of these little, it's not trimmed yet, but these little supports for the screen, okay? Because the screen just pops out, and this sits in here and gives it support so it doesn't have that bend area. Oh God, I'm not even on the camera, guys. It sits in here and it goes so it doesn't have that bend area. It just gives it some support so that way it doesn't damage the display. But the supports inside of it are a little too high, so I've got to recut that 3D file first. So I'll just make sure that sits in there nice and comfy. And that's it, guys. That's the Dark Horse from Solo Satoshi sitting on a Solo Satoshi Gamma, ready to go. Next video I'm doing is Ixtec El Mirage. Again, it's just a couple more steps, but it's just as easy. So hope you enjoyed this. Please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any comments, questions, anything like that, please put them down in the comments. I will do my best to get to you as soon as possible. But guys, seriously, super easy to upgrade your Gamma with some things to give little tweaks. If I can do it, anyone can do it. All right, because I'm a moron. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. There you go, guys. Hope you enjoyed.